What's up YouTube? This is Licious Kid from ClimaxCombo, back with another Leaks of the Weeks. I know this week is really late, but I've been really busy with work and just life in general. So, better late than never, guys. So, I'll be I'll still be doing last week's leaks, and of course, we're continuing off with Love Live and Angel Beats and they are set to be released later this week. So, yeah, really excited for them. I've already pre-ordered 8 Love Live boxes. I haven't pre-ordered any Angel Beat boxes just because I have most of the set already, so there's no real point. I'm just gonna single the new cards that come out. So yeah. Anyways, let's get started. So first off, it says 2-1 lean 5K music sports. She is a level assist in front. Yeah, 500 level assist in front, and she has another effect. Choose one of your characters against or you can tap two characters, then you choose one of your characters against the following ability until the end of the turn. When this card reverses its opponent in battle, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So yeah, this is really similar to the new Onodeta 1-0 support in the Nisekoi trial deck. However, this is in a level assist. However, is this card good? No, I don't really like this card just because of the tap 2 effect, because as most of you guys know, there's already Umi from the first set, and she requires you to tap 2 to brainstorm, and at level 2 I almost always brainstorm every turn, and I value the brainstorm much higher than this effect. And yeah, and if I brainstorm, then I can't use this effect, so this is just pretty much a vanilla level assist. I like the Hanayo level assist already from the second set, so yeah, I don't think this card has much use. The second effect is not bad by any means. However, I personally would probably not run it. So yeah, next up we have this 1-0 Kanade. She's 5k. This card is from the new trial deck coming out this Friday. Anyway, she's Death Student Council as always, and during your turn she gets 500 for every Death character you control. So if you have a full field before assist, she hits 5k. No, 7k. 7k during your turn. However, of course, on your opponent's turn, she's only a wimpy 5k. Um, I actually like this card. I think this card is pretty good for a 1-0 costless attacker in Angel Beats. They don't really have any other good ones. The only other one that's pretty good is this Kanade right here, the 1-0 4K. This one only hits 6k on attack and defense with a full field. And honestly, 6k on defense is too weak, and 6k on offense is too weak to apply any pressure. So I think I'm probably going to replace those with this new Kanade because, 5k on defense is of course weak, so she is going to die. But then at least on offense, she can at least apply some pressure because she is 7k. And of course, of course you are going to have the global hand encore, so when she dies, just encore, and then she'll be back at 7k next turn. However, this card is only 6k on offense, and I find that number should be just too small to apply any pressure. So when I play this card, I feel like this card doesn't deal any pressure and it just dies anyways. So I'm actually pretty excited for this card. It comes in the trial deck. I ordered one trial deck. I forgot to mention that just because for fun. So yeah, hopefully I get 4 of these in the trial deck. If not, I'll probably just buy a couple at AX. Anyways, Tuesday's leak. Tuesday we have this 1-0 Nico. This is a pretty interesting card. So this is 1025. This card is a backup. So first off, it's a 1k backup. Of course, it's really weak, but she does have another effect. When you use this backup, you can pay an extra 2. If you do, choose one of your opponent's character whose level is greater than your opponent's level, send it to the waiting room, then your opponent chooses one level 0 or lower character from that waiting room and places it to the original border of that character. So essentially this card is anti-change, because this card only targets opponent's cards that are higher than the opponent's levels. Meaning that if they have a level 2 out when they are only level 1, then this card can hit that card. And same thing, if your opponent is level 2 and they have a level 3 character, then this card will get rid of that. So essentially, you back up, you pay 2, you get rid of the opponent's changed character, and then they get a level 0 in return. There are ups and downs to this. First of all, the downside is that it is only a wimpy 1k, and your opponent gets another character. And that character comes in stand, so they do get an extra attack in, meaning they get 4 stock. In total, assuming they're attacking with 3 characters, they will still get 4 stock when you use this on them. But however, the plus side is that of course you get rid of their strong character, and usually when you change, you spend a lot of resources either in stock or hand. So this paying the extra 2 may be beneficial. And the other big thing is that this card is level 1. There's a lot of other anti-change cards that are level 2, like in Kontai, in the Capo. Those cards are level 2 backup, so those cards are really only worthwhile at level 2. However, since this one is at level 1, you can use it against Rewrite and Vivid Red, and I guess other Love Live decks if they're into the whole change thing. But pretty much the ones that come on top of my head is the Rewrite and what did I just say? Rewrite and Vivid Red. So this card can work against them. And the opponent getting a level 0 is both a good and a bad thing. The level 0 comes out regardless. If your opponent encores the changed the target of this card, the level 0 will come out regardless. So if they cannot encore it because the level 0 will replace the character you targeted no matter what. So them getting a level 0 is kind of a good and a bad thing. And lastly, of course, if they don't have a level 0 in the graveyard, which is not likely, but it is plausible, then they don't get anything. Like if they refreshed and then you use this, they don't get shit. So overall, I think this Nico is a really cool card, and I'm excited to try one of these out in my deck for certain matchups. So yeah, overall, very cool card, and I'm really excited for this. And it's only a common, which is great. Next up, we have this 1-0 Drummer Girl, Heidi, I guess. Death Music. She's a Brainstorm. Pay 1, mill top 4. Every climax you hit, search your deck for one music character and add it to your hand. Unfortunately, this card only searches out music characters. I really wish it did grab death characters, then it would be much better, but of course you can't have it all. Angel Beats already has a really good Brainstormer, the 1-0 5k UD Bay Brainstormer. That card's already pretty solid, so I guess we really didn't need a new Brainstorm, but still, this card would have been nice if it did hit all death characters, but it only hits music, which is whatever. This set has a lot of emphasis on music, so it's no surprise that they got a Brainstormer exclusively for them. So yeah, if you're building a music deck, or if music deck becomes really good, then this card is great. But as of right now, UDP Kanade being the more popular build, this doesn't do much, but hey, maybe music will be the better build, so we'll just have to see on this card. It's a common, so you can't complain. Next up we have the 0-0 girl, Sekine, 1k. She's like the Kanade from the first set. When this card is reversed in battle, you may pay 1, discard a card, send her to memory. If you do, search your deck for one music character, add it to your hand. It's the same thing as the Kanade from the first set. However, that one only grabs Student Council, while this one only grabs music characters. So once again, if you're running a music deck, this card would obviously be better. However, if you're running the normal UDB Kanade build, then the Kanade would be better. So yeah, overall, it's nothing too special. Next up, Wednesday's League. And pretty disappointing. Anyways, to start things out, all these 4 cards combo with each other, so I'll just go over them first. 2-1 8k Todo Erina. Place 2 cards to rest. Or no, 2-1 8k. Place 2 of your characters to rest. This card gets plus 2k until the end of the turn, so she hits 10k before assist. Next up, 3-2 Tsubasa. If you have 2 or more Tsubasas in your waiting room, this card loses 1 level in your hand, so she could come out as early as level 2. When this card declares an attack with Shocking Party, which is the flare trigger here, and you have an Erina and an Anju in the front row, all of your front row characters gain 1500 power and the following effect. This ability can only be activated once per turn. When the damage of this card is cancelled, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. Of course, this damage can be cancelled. So pretty much, if you have Tsubasa, Erina, and Anju in the front row, you play Shocking Party. All of your characters get plus 15 and Flare Trigger, or Spark, Flare Trigger, Crash, whatever you want to call it for the turn. And yeah, and lastly, 2-2 Anju. She's 8k 2 soul. For every one of your characters in rest, she gets plus 500 power. So if you have full fields in rest, she gets 10k before assist. So first of all, I'm going to talk about Tsubasa. This first effect is really, really good. I think this first effect is like such an easy condition. This is really similar to the Phantom level 3 in blue. I don't know her name. The blue Phantom level 3. And this condition is just super easy and it's really good. But unfortunately, her other effect really kills the card. Because, first of all, Erina is a pretty weak card. Just being 2-1 8k, hitting 10k before assist is, not that great. It's outclassed by the 2-1 Umi in the first set. Yeah, the 2-1 Umi in the first set outclasses this card by far, so no point in Edina. Same thing with Anju. She's the exact copy of Umi, except she costs an extra stock, but she does have one more soul. But honestly, the extra stock does not, you know, it's not worth the extra stock just to get one more soul. So the Umi outclasses this card as well. So these two cards individually suck. And of course, Tsubasa is pretty. And to get Tsubasa's combo off, you need to have both of these in the front row. And so overall, to get Tsubasa's combo off, you need to run mediocre level 2s, and you have to run Flare Trigger, which is not the greatest trigger in the world. So to get Tsubasa's combos off, you have to run multiple copies of pretty lackluster cards, and it's just not worth it in the end to run all these cards for this combo. Yeah, this combo is pretty strong if you get it off, but it costs a total of 5 stock, because she costs 1, she costs 2, she costs 2, and paying 5 stock, playing a Climax, and running mediocre cards, it's just not worth it. So overall, unfortunately, A-Rise suck. I believe these are the only A-Rise cards in the set, which is really disappointing because I really liked A-Rise. I thought they were cool, and I really liked the song Shocking Party. I like that song. And the holo art is really cool. Really nice. I like the Tsubasa one a lot. Hopefully I pull one just for kicks. Anyways, let's go on. This is the 2-1 Yuripe, 3k. She is a 1000 in front assist. However, she has another effect. When she's played from hand to stage, you can pay 1. If you do, you grab this event from your waiting room and add it to your hand. What this event does is you pay 1, you choose one of your characters, send it to the waiting room. If you do, choose one of your opponent's level 2 or lower character and send it to their waiting room. Overall, this combo is pretty weak because first of all, Yuripe is only a 1000 in front assist, which is pretty weak. And of course, she is only 1000 in front because she has another effect. This event by itself is not really good because you minus yourself 1 because you have to kill. This event itself is a minus, and then you have to kill off one of your characters, which is another minus. The idea is that since Angel Beats has, well, ideally you'll have hand encore for all your characters. So when you kill off one of your own characters, you can just hand encore it, and then your opponent loses one of their level 2 or lower characters. And assuming they don't have hand encore, they will lose their level 2 or lower characters. The prime target for this card is a back row assist. You really shouldn't be using this to kill something in the front row. Just use this to kill a really strong assist in the back. A level 2 assist in the back is the most ideal target for this card. However, even though I'm saying this, it's still not a good card because you're just minusing yourself way too much for this. So overall, these two cards suck, and I would not be running either of these. Next up, Thursday's leak. This something worse than those is this card right here, 2-0 event from Love Live. All your characters gain +1 soul until the end of the turn. I don't think I have to explain this, but I will anyways. You minus yourself 1 hand just to give all your characters +1 soul. You run 8 climaxes. Almost every climax gives soul in some shape or form, and most Love Live decks run 8 gates, and a gate is by far superior than this. So don't run this. This card is just a retarded idea. I don't even remember where this picture is from the anime, but yeah, overall, what the hell. Don't run it. Anyways, 3-2. Oh, next up is the level 3 card. This is the level 3 from the trial deck, and it's an interesting one. So 3-2, 10k, 2 soul, Death, Student Council. So this card, first of all, has Recollection 3. If you have 3 or more cards in your memory, they get +1k and the following effect. You can tap one character and give this card +1k until the end of the turn. So if you have 3 in memory, he's 11k base, and on offense, max it'll be 13k base, assuming you tap both back of row for this card. It has another effect. During your own turn, when this card resists its opponent in battle, you may pay 1. If you do, choose an opponent's level 2 or lower front stage character and put it on top of the owner's deck. This last effect is okay. It's kind of like a pseudo game ender, just because when you put something back on top, it makes it harder for them to cancel by 1 more damage. So it's kind of like a game ender. It's not guaranteed, but it does help. But in general, this card is not that great just because you need Recollection 3. Yuripe Kanade builds don't run much cards that can send themselves to memory. The only one that really sends itself to memory is the 0-0 Kanade that searches out student councils that I mentioned earlier, and possibly the 1-0 Iwasawa. Decks, Angel Beast decks that do run Recollection are usually the Girl Dead Monster builds, just because you need the Recollection 2 for the level 3 UE. Oh, my phone's dying. Whatever, I don't care. Anyways, so yeah, so overall, just hitting Recollection 3 is kind of a nuisance, just for big power. It's honestly not that great. But this second effect is not tied. You don't need Recollection 3 to gain the second effect. The second effect is okay, however, there is a better game ender in Angel Beats being the level 3 Uripe. So why run this over the level 3 Uripe? And also in the new set we got the level 3 Yui, the one with the flare trigger on play. That one's already better than this as well. So unfortunately I don't think this card is very good and it's not going to see play. However, I do think it's a pretty solid level 3 for a trial deck. Unfortunately it's already outclassed by all the other level 3s in the previous sets. But yeah, it's an okay level 3 for a trial deck, I'll just say that. Next up we have, oh wait, I believe I went over this card in the previous leaks of the week. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure I did. So I'm not going to bother going over this card again. Lastly, we have Friday's leak. Usually all the cool stuff, but Love Live got some pretty mediocre stuff. Once again, all these four combos kind of work with each other. So I'll go over each card individually first. First off is this 2-1 Umi. She's 8k. She's a common. Music Sports. When you have the Wind Trigger in play, which is right here. When you play the Wind Trigger and this card's in the front stage, choose one cost 0 lower character from your waiting room and place it onto any border of the stage, and then she gets plus 2k until the end of the turn. Next up, Kotori, 105k music. During the start of your attack phase, if you have the Wind Trigger in play, you can pay 1. If you do, you can choose a level 0 music character from your waiting room and place it onto any border of the stage, and this card gets plus 2k until the end of the turn. Lastly, this Maki00. Of course, she combos with the Wind Trigger. When she attacks with the Wind Trigger, you can pay 1, and if you have 2 or more music characters, which you would, because these bring out each other, if you do, search your deck for a music character added to your hand. And lastly, of course, once again, the Wind Trigger. So the idea behind this, the dream, is you play Umi, you play the gate, or you play the Wind Trigger. You then grab Kotori. Then your attack phase begins. You pay 1, then you grab Maki. You attack with the other 2 characters first, and then you attack with Maki last. You pay 1, you search for a music character and add it to your hand. There you go, dream is complete. Anyways, however, this is not that great because first of all, like all these cards are really weak. They don't do anything without the Wind Trigger itself. Umi is only... So when you play the combo, Umi will be 11k because she gains 2 from her effect, 1 from the Wind Trigger. Kotori will be 8k, 2 from her effect, 1 from the Wind Trigger, and Maki will only be 3.5k. First of all, the Wind Trigger from the first set is already pretty good. And I think that Wind Trigger combo is better than this. Second of all, it's just not that good. Like, of course you don't need to run all 3 of them just to run this combo. You could just run the Umi and the Wind Trigger, and you can still get its benefits. Like, you can still grab a cost 0 character, probably like the 1-0 Eddie from the first set. You could still grab that. But still, honestly, I think there are much better Climax combos in Love Live, and just those Climax combos are just far superior than any of these Climax combos themselves. So unfortunately, this card just sucks. Yeah, I wouldn't even consider any of these in my Love Live decks just because what you get is pretty mediocre. And like I said, there are better combos in Love Live and better climaxes you can play. However, I really like the art on this Maki. Unfortunately, I'm not going to run it, but yeah, sucks. I like the art. No. Anyways, lastly, the last card of the day is 3-2 Kanade. Death Student Council, she is double R. So what does this card do? She heals on play, which is already pretty good. However, from the text, you can see that you cannot change into her. And yeah, just stating that because there are a lot of level 3s in Angel Beast that you can change into. But this one, you cannot. So let's go on to her next effect. She combos with this one. This 2k1 right here. This 2k1 is called Somewhere Someday, which is pretty important. I'll get to that in just a second. But when you play the Climax Somewhere Someday, and this is in the front stage, or front row, you can pay 1 if you do search your deck for 1 death character, which is the entire series, and place it onto any border of the stage, and then of course shuffle your deck. Now,